Hi everyone, let's go over my bullish and bearish Elliott Wave scenarios on Bitcoin, and this video is a lot earlier as I have to speak tonight at an event, so I won't be here at 7 p.m. but I did want to make an update based on the local price section because I am updating, of course, the members, but I think for YouTube it's important to also know what's going on locally and what I am looking for bullish or bearish probabilities. So we're going to run through all the scenarios, bullish and bearish, with probabilities at the end of the video, starting with the regular flat over here. We're in a wave A, we're then looking for a WXY double zigzag in a wave A, zigzag in a wave B, bearish divergences at the high, very nice for a move down, and then we're looking for a wave C, 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Common target is here between 34.7 and 33.9k. We do have some additional support over here, the two blue boxes sitting between 34.3k to 34.5k, and the other one here 33.8k to 33.9k. Now in a wave C, you're looking for an impulse to the downside. So you have to look for a 5-wave structure and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Common retracement target for a wave 4 is the 0.5, which as you can see has been respected over here, taken from the high to the low of this wave 3. And the invalidation of a wave 4 is the 0.618, and you're then looking for a wave 5 to the downside towards that target area of C, but also the target area of 5 over here, which of course is below this wave 3 between 35.2k, 34.7k, but it can dip deeper as we do have some more support down here. Now, if we are looking towards the more bullish scenario, we're looking at this triangle, very early to call, of course. And in this triangle, preferably this is your C low, right? And you're going to be looking for a zigzag to the upside. But what's happening locally here is very important. So I want to actually talk about that very soon. But in this scenario, you want to look for a zigzag up, A, B, C, before then an E, and eventually continuation to the upside, as generally zooming out on the medium time frame, the probabilities are higher to take the double top eventually. Even if you move to the downside, we're going to be looking for support for eventually a continuation to the upside again. Now this is the bullish scenario, and here we're looking for a 3-wave down instead of an impulse in an ABC. As you can see and explained in the live stream as well as earlier in the morning, a wave 3 extension is very long for a wave C. The 3 trend-based fib extension taken from the high to the low of A to the high of wave B is a more common target for a wave 3 compared to a wave C. Now we have seen wave C's being very long compared to a wave A, so it's not impossible, but it's generally a higher probability for a wave 3. But what's always interesting is after a 3-wave structure, we have to observe what comes afterwards and see what price gives us over here more locally. And that is then also what I want to talk about now, which I think is the most important of this video here. If we first actually go here, then we are currently still inside the support resistance box. As you can see, right? We're still inside that support resistance box. We just hopped below the value area low once more, and now we're ranging over here. And what is important is this support resistance area at the moment. If price can find its way above the support resistance area again, right, very simple over here, support resistance area, then the probabilities are higher to move to the upside and go towards the point of control that you just saw on my chart, which is sitting over here at 37.1k, which also is the high of a 4-hour gap that we have here on the 4-hour time frame. We have this candle, as you can see over here. So we have this 4-hour gap, right? And once you go above this little support resistance area, probabilities increase to fill the gap to the upside, meaning the point of control that we then have over there. However, you also see that price over here reached the 886, and generally for Elliott waves, the 886 is a higher probability for a wave B or a wave X, meaning that any move towards the downside has a higher probability of being a wave C or a wave Y, which therefore then increases probabilities for price to move to the upside. If a correction ends at the 886, it's most commonly a wave Y, and then a WXY sideways correction for a wave 4, where you then expect continuation to the downside. But to keep things simple, this support resistance is important. This move to the downside, look at the volume as well, right? Price moving down, volume increasing, and we had bearish CVD divergences as well, shown on stream, right? Some more bearish CVD divergences here for then a push to the downside. Now, if we're looking for this move to the downside to be a wave C of a corrective structure, and let's say an ABC here, or even in a WXY, because if this is a WX and then a wave Y with the high being an X, then wave W over here clearly is not a flat. So wave W has to be a zigzag, because W can only be a zigzag or a flat, right? Then you have a wave X to the upside, but eventually you're looking for a wave Y, and wave Y then has to be a triangle or a flat, but in this case it then has to be a flat, and the flat also ends with a 5-wave structure in an ABC. Currently, if we look at price over here, you can see that we have a bit of a 3-wave structure, but we don't yet have a C-wave structure to the downside, meaning 5 waves to the downside. But if I pull a trend-based fib from the high to the low to the high over here, which I'll do again because I misclicked, so from the high to the low to the high, and I toggle on the wave C but also the wave Y common target area between the 1 and the 1.236, you can see that even though we've only seen 3 waves so far, not a 5-wave structure, we're already at the common target area for a wave C or a wave Y, which is over here, which of course is not great, as we are looking for a 5-wave structure usually to finish in this area, but we're still looking for another low because we only so far have a 3-wave structure, another 5-wave structure in either an ABC or a WXY, but then wave Y is a flat for then a 5-wave move, right? So therefore, this support resistance area is so incredibly important, because the support resistance area also includes wave 4 targets basically. If I take a fib from this high over here to the low and I toggle on the wave 4 Fibonacci's, right, then you can see that currently the 0.5 has been tested. Common target area 404, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a wave 5. After 5, you want to see continuation, but you want to see proof of support. For me, the support resistance area is very important. If you go down, continue down, volume is high, higher probability this is a wave 3 at the moment, and you get a 4 and a 5 down, then it continues down. If you find support, price moves up, right? Probabilities can increase for a move up again, of course, depending on also what we see locally at the time. You don't want to see more bearish CVD divergences building, of course. Now, in this scenario, if price can move to the upside here and reach the 0.618, which basically means go above this support resistance area, then probabilities increase for price to move to the upside and move towards that point of control to higher prices, right? So this support resistance area is actually very important from an Elliott Wave point of view, and also makes things quite simple. If we look at CVD, we of course had quite some bearish CVD divergences building. We do have a bullish CVD with the low over here. We have a higher low in price, but a lower low on the CVD on blue, that is. If I zoom out and show you this on this chart, then you can see here we have a higher low on price, lower low on blue, right? So we have a bullish CVD divergence almost here on yellow as well, but just missing out on a bullish divergence there on yellow. But then again, preferably, we're going to see price move above that support resistance area. And that's also what I write then here in the probabilities for you all, right? Like on the medium time frame, if we zoom out, yeah, probabilities are higher to still move towards that double top eventually. But more locally, I saw this move to the downside and more bearish CVD divergences coming in. I saw the volume coming in here as well, and I was like, damn, before I leave for my speaking gig, I got to make a video, because this support resistance area that we have here is now going to play a crucial role for price moving up or down, because probabilities are always moving, right? So over here, what I write, right, we have a small support resistance area over here going above this area. Probabilities increase for price to move up, right? If price takes this low first, we could have a finished 5-wave structure in a C. Well, then you want to see price moving up impulsively, right? No more bearish CVD divergences. You want to see an impulse to the upside, or at least continuation in a 3-wave structure. But if price takes a low and then continues, not even tries going above here, well, then it's clear, right? We're going to be looking for lower targets to come. So that is also what I then wrote here. Go above, probabilities increase for the point of control. If not, potential for a wave 5 towards the downside at lower prices. Or we have a wave C for then a move to the upside, and then an A, B, C potentially here, where for a wave B, if you take a fib from the low to the high and you toggle on this. We're currently raging on top of the golden pocket, but also the 786 is still a target. But nonetheless, the support area is very important for me. So I hope this video was helpful or valuable to you. Please check out the most recent educational video I've made about the best trading indicator you can use in my opinion. And for now, thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'd like to see you at the next one. Bye bye.